All right, what's going on is Bobby Skinner, Giants Nation, doing a draft film breakdown of Miami quarterback Cam Ward, the best quarterback in the class, in my opinion. An aggressive quarterback, a confident quarterback, one who can make big time throws, who can use his legs, has some warts we're going to talk about, right? Trusting his eyes too much at times, some recklessness, some inaccuracies, but a guy that I definitely think that is worth betting on in the NFL draft with a top 5 pick. Maybe he should slide to pick 3 for my Giants. And Titans fans, if you're watching this, just know that I'm mad. I am very mad. So let's get into it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It's a new channel, restarting everything that I've built. Got to restart it. So make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, please. We want to succeed. So let's get into it. So we're gonna go into different things in this breakdown. The first thing that we're going to go through is just kind of big throws, right? Whether it's big time reads, moving a safety, just nice accurate throws. And then we're going to go into like the creation side of it. And then my favorite segment is going to be his aggression versus defender's leverage, good and bad, because I think that segment, how he translates that into the NFL, is what's going to decide his future. And then we'll go through some things like him throwing the seam ball, some quick game, arm angles, some red flags of inaccuracy, and then his ability to run. So let's get into it all. Again, like and subscribe. First play, here versus Virginia Tech. We've got a scissors concept up top. Bam, touchdown. Right, you'll see from the other angle, his eyes holding this safety, right? Holding this safety here, even though, again, the deeper concepts are here. Holding this safety on the left side, and then you see he flips, bam, touchdown. Right? Watch the eyes. Hold, get back to it, see it, and just perfect accuracy. Snap it in there, perfect accuracy, touchdown Canes. Here again versus Virginia Tech. Gonna have perfect accuracy on this play. Kind of a flood concept with the second level coming from the backside on this crosser. Play action again. Hold the safety, right? Or not even holding the safety, but reading the safety, right? Keeping this safety in the middle of the field. Right? The safety's here in the middle of the field to take away the post. We throw the corner. And you'll see, I mean, that's just perfect placement. But watch the eyes. Right? Right down the line. Still, right down the line, right? Right down the line, holding that safety in the middle of the field. And I don't know if I can consider this a no-look pass, but it's nice. And no-look, whatever it is, what it is perfect accuracy. Not really good accuracy, perfect accuracy for a nice chunk play to Xavier Restrepo. Here going to throw the smash. High-low concept, right? We want to take the high in these, right? We want to be aggressive. So what do? We try and move this corner with a shoulder fake, pump fake. And it doesn't even work that well, but he sees this. He understands the space that is there. This safety doesn't have the angle. Fired in there. Nice play. Again, move him. Be aggressive. Nice throw, get in there. Here versus Louisville. Again, another no look. Now, again, this is more play design on this little double move. But again, perfect accuracy leads to a yak touchdown. Right? So, 11 shows like he's going to sit here. It's going to be like a high-low, like the same concept as the one before, just in a different way. And these defenders jump on it, and that leaves him open middle of the field. But what I think makes it really, sells it is, right, see where his eyes are? Right? It's on the tight end. It's on it's on the tight end, getting the defense to move that way, to fall for the double move, and then again, throw away from your body. Right? Just the confidence to sell that throw. Bam. And then 11's able to do the rest and finish it for 6. Here, these are real deal throws, right? We're going to throw this post. We're throwing this from the opposing 39 to the back of the end zone. I mean, that's that's a 60-plus yard throw, right? And again, the aggression on this. So this concept is actually one that, the team that I cover, the Giants, runs a lot. Not runs a lot, but likes to run to get chunk plays. Where you have the deep post over here, and then you have these two deep digs. Now, these guys I don't think run it very well, but you get it versus a cover 6 coverage, right? You got cover 2 down here with the flat defender, half field, and then you got the 2 quarter field defenders here, right? So ideally, you're trying to run this, versus a cover 3 and hit one of these 2 players. But if you get it versus this, it kind of turns into like a little Mills concept where you're reading this safety, right? If this safety, it doesn't play this deep, well, now the post is open. But again, that's a hard throw to make. We're throwing it from the opposite 39. I mean, that's a 66-yard throw just on the money. I don't know what the penalty was here. And just on the money and confidence to walk away from the throw too. And then here again, like the exact same thing versus Cal. Exact same thing. Like reading the safety. Seeing the safety's not bailing. And pull the trigger. And again, this throw's not as perfect, but that's just, to me, that's a hell of a throw. I don't care if it's to slow down a little bit at the end on this, right? I mean, that's a 65-yard throw. I mean, that's in the breadbasket of the wide receiver. I'd like him to bring that down. And then just other plays here. Over the middle. Just perfect accuracy versus Iowa State. Play action. You get this safety to bite down. This Tampa defender's not there for it. Just put it right over the shoulder. Again, we're going to go through, creation and big-time reads that he makes, but this is just, big boy throws. Showing off the arm talent while getting, gets hit. Showing it off. Here, a flea flicker that ends up getting called a defensive pass interference. But this is a money 55-yard throw. And again, it's not this crazy read. It's a flea flicker. I mean, just money, right? The defender gets called for pass interference. They end up scoring a touchdown. But just beautiful throws. Here versus to 8. Arroyo. Just perfect throw up the sideline. Man coverage. Just over the shoulder. Big time throw. Here versus Florida. 3rd and 11, right? 3rd and 11. You got this 2-man coverage. Knowing where you're going. I mean, this is, again, that's perfect. I mean, that's a beautiful throw, right? And then, we're going to see a creation play here in a second on the next 3rd down of this drive. All right, and again, some of the big reads here, right? I don't know what is being taught on this, if this is something they saw on a film here, but they run the stick concept down here. And you see him try and move this right cornerback with this little pump fake and then throw the ball over here. But the concept up top here is a dagger. And this is the clear. Right? You're either throwing here or to the check down. I don't know what game, like the green light, like, hey, throw the clear. But he gets it where this safety rolls down. You keep this corner over here with this pump fake against cover 3. and you've got to hold the throw it into, and he makes a play. And again, like he does this, you're going to talk about all this creation and stuff, but like he just makes big throws consistently and has the confidence to run concepts and unlock things in concepts that a lot of quarterbacks just don't do. Now, the creation with Cam Ward, this is where the highlight plays come from. They come from many different ways with Cam Ward. He's kind of full of highlights, but these are the ones that really get you going. Because, again, he's just able to make special plays happen. He's got good balance in the pocket. He feels pressure really well, and he makes really good throws off of different angles, different throwing platforms, and you see it consistently show up with him. So let's go through it. All right, we'll go through a handful of these. Here versus Florida, we've got pressure, right? We've got pressure inside. Florida runs a stunt. We're not throwing anything on this concept, right? So now we're left to create. So rolling left, right? And I think that's key, is not just being able to scramble and make a throw, but his comfortability to scramble left and make the throw really adds just a dangerous element, right? It's not just creation to run or creation to scramble right. He can throw left, right? And so he beats this. He's got his eyes on three. Got his eyes on three. He's reading this player. He's staying with the tight end. And you'll see it from the other angle. Again, feel this pressure inside. And just a money ball on number 3. Right? So not having to stop, set his feet, allow the rushers to get a hit on him. Wall rolling left, put that ball on him. Here, this next play against Florida. Right, this one is designed to roll left. All right, and they're trying to run the smash concept. High-low, it's not there. So what does he do? Stay calm, direct traffic, pull Restrepo over. Oh my gosh, I didn't get the back view of that for some reason. All right, so I'll use this view. But again, seeing you've got this smash concept, it's not there. It's not there. Florida does a good job covering it. So, direct traffic, you see everyone's moving right, and put a ball on Restrepo. Next play here versus Louisville. They're going to drop A into coverage. So, drop A, obviously you're going to have protection on that. Finds a guy in the back of the end zone. Now, and I'll talk about this a little bit. If you want to critique this on this, this flood concept, high to low, the low is wide open, right? This is not a third down. Even if it is, this is still the throw. This is a second down, and we're looking to create. And I'll give my opinion on that at the end of going through these plays. But again, this drop 8, right? You say, oh well, he's not going to have the time like this in the NFL. I mean, if they're dropping 8, yeah, he will. Right? Yeah, he won't have time like that most of the time. He also won't have 8 guys back in coverage. But again, rolling left, knows where he's going. Bam. Like just a beautiful ball. Here, Miami's going to run like this little post wheel out and up with Restrepo. Gets hit, finds it in the hole. Big play. Right there in cover 3. Out and up. This corner, this cover 3 corner is chasing the vertical. And you see, even Wall getting hit, being able to deliver this throw, it's just consistently you're getting this a few times per game out of Cam Ward, right? And you saw those big throws that we see. We're going to talk about the leverage aggression throws, here in a minute. Now, maybe that gets called as a penalty, but staying alive, delivering the throw, and then Restrepo's able to make more with it. Here versus Georgia Tech. 4th down, right? This is when they're down by 2 scores, 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, end up losing this game. There ends up being a penalty on this. But this is 4th down. Like, has to make something happen, right? This isn't just unnecessary running around, take the check down. No. That's real deal, like, win a game type shit. And now it's a penalty because I'm being really honest. I don't think sometimes I just get mad at players. Why is this offensive lineman running 7 yards downfield and getting a penalty? But again, you see, right? You guys saw before. It's not open. It's not there. We look again. It's not there. Keeps your balance, and then finds him coming, running across the back of the end zone. And that should have put him down one score. And unfortunately, the next they get a penalty. Next play, 4th down, takes a sack. There's nothing he can do. Here, I was at this Pop-Tarts Bowl. This game was fun to watch. This might have been my favorite play here. You get the free rusher, step up in the pocket, find Arroyo on the over. I mean, it's not just, oh, he made a guy miss. Right? It's the ability to make this free rusher miss, while also his eyes never leave looking for somebody downfield. Right? We make a miss. We've got Arroyo on this over. I mean, this is a perfect throw. Not a really good throw. That is a perfect throw to Arroyo. Here, right? Iowa's taking a blitz again. Run up in the pocket. Find the over. Find the in route. Again, that double mug blitz. Like, he just consistently is able to avoid the rush. And like you said, if he needs to scramble left, he'll scramble left. If it's up through the pocket, it's up through the pocket. He just is consistently able to make stuff like this happen, right? Here at Virginia Tech, essentially the game winner. Right? Being tackled. Right? Being tackled. Now, is the fact that this ends up going down to the 1 yard line a result of Cam Ward? No, it's the result of, this tight end making plays. But just, again, being tackled. It's one thing to break a tackle. He knows where his guy is supposed to be, right? He sees. He knows I am getting this ball here. I just need to stay alive to get this ball to 88 before he can get back up. Until he can get back up. Right? Basketball chest pass. So it's 100% Cam Ward's doing that this play is not a failure. It's this stiff arm, this bad tackle by zero, the reason why that it's so successful. But Cam Ward is the reason why it's not a failure. So with Cam Ward, as you watch some more of these creation plays, right, you can say, oh, this stuff doesn't work in the NFL. Or sometimes the open stuff was there. And I just remember, Jaden Daniels last year. And some of my worries were like, man, some of these 65-yard scrambles, there's guys wide open in the middle of the field, right? These are throws he should be making, right? It's kind of a mistake to not throw him, but he's making plays. So will there be times in the NFL where that doesn't work? Of course. But what I think we've learned with these quarterbacks is that if they're doing enough things right, these things do work, right? Especially down in the low red zone, it's going to help you put 7 points. It's going to get you out of dead plays. Is there going to be times where it creates negatives, right? And we're going to talk about some of the negatives of that here in a second. But I really do think that it's not as simple as like, oh, it doesn't work in the NFL. There's going to be times where it doesn't, but I think there's a lot of times where it's going to lead to, your team adding points. And are you doing all the right things to go with that in the middle of all these creation plays? Because you obviously can't just live on creation plays alone. What you can't have with the creation is senseless disaster, because there's going to be bad plays that come out of a player who creates like that at times. Or you're going to miss a throw, you're going to misread something. What you can't have is, again, senseless disaster. This play you're looking at against Virginia Tech. This is 3rd down and 5 on the first drive of the game. Again, you didn't feel comfortable throwing this? Okay, I feel like it's there. Get to the backside. The backside stuff is not there. All right, so we look to create. Natural, right? Natural. Or you could, look to create the run or dump it down to the running back. What you can't do is when the play's dead, which is what this is, and you're wrapped up, just throw it up to nobody. Again, like, where are we aiming this for, right? In the other, Virginia Tech one where he hits the tight end, like, he knows where he is, and it's just like a little chest pass away. Why are we turning over the ball on the first drive of the game like this, right? And that other one was, last drive of the game. Where are we throwing this, right? We're not making this any of these throws like that. It's just senseless disaster. Here versus Cal, at the end of the first half, they end up coming back and win this game. Can't put them in a bad situation with this, right? This ends up being a pick six. Like, again, senseless disaster, right? We're looking to create, right? Natural. End of the half, we're rolling right. What in the world says that we should be able to just throw this ball all the way across the field to here? Like, that's craziness. Again, go create. I'm fine. Let's go. Right? Like, if you threw this ball right here, would it be risky? Could it get turned over? Sure, but it's like, I understand it. This is, I don't know what to say about that. Right? And there's other times this happened. I know it happened in the Duke game. I don't have the all 22 film of that to share with you, but I don't think this was like his biggest wart. We're going to talk about the turnovers or turnover-worthy plays that he has, reading leverage, in this next segment, the good and bad, but you still can't have these no matter how few they are. So, like I've been foreshadowing, is this next segment I really think is the decider of how good Cam Ward ends up being. And, like, it could make him, again, there's all these good things, and this could just be another, notch that makes him a great quarterback, reading leverage. But also, you're going to see within the mistakes that this could be the thing that holds him back, because you can make all these throws, but if you're turning over the ball once per game, well, then you're not gonna last very long, at least not as a top-notch quarterback. So, but let's go through the good first here, right? Versus Florida, they're gonna run that smash concept, a high-low. Just good job understanding. Right? Seeing that this corner has turned his hips. Right? This corner's turned his hips. This safety's not getting over on that and fitting that ball in there. Right? Trusting, hey, this player has lost his leverage. He's not going to get there. I don't know what that corner's doing, but still able to deliver that touchdown, right? Kind of sells the shallow, the low with his shoulders. Next play, right? Bang, bang. Right, they're running, sail concept. Sail concept. Right, you got the corner here versus cover 3, and the cover 3 outside corner, right, the deep third corner, is taking the post. This deep route. You see Cam Ward, he's trusting his leverage, right? Let's fit this ball in here. I'm going to trust that this corner is not going to make the play on this. Gets it in there, and it's a bang-bang throw, right? Like, you got to have that confidence to make those types of throws. Right? You have to trust that. Right? And that's exactly what Cam Ward's reading. He gets it in there. Nice play. Here versus Iowa State. Same concept, essentially. A little muddier in how they get to it. Different formation. Different coverage. But once again, we're going to throw the corner here. We're reading this safety's leverage, right? This safety is backpedaling. He's got this route here. 23, the defender matches it. Put a beautiful ball in the corner. Nice completion. Right in front of my face at the Pop-Tart Bowl. I moved around a bit. There's another throw later that I really liked that was in front of me. Here versus Georgia Tech. Right, you're going to run post wheel. Just right anticipation, which we're about to get to after all. This leverage segment. Right, to throw this ball before he's even made his break, but trusting that they're not in cover. That this is man coverage, but man coverage against this looks a lot like cover 3 as well. That this corner is not going to pass this off to this safety and get out here and make a play. Throws it with good timing. Touchdown, right? It looks like, oh, just a nice scheme. Guy wins versus man, but like you have to trust that. Make a play, right? That's not as close of a hole shot or whatever. But again, like trusting that leverage. Now here's the bad, and this is my biggest worry with Cam Ward. Right? I'm gonna show some throws where his accuracy can struggle at times. I think that'll get better if he's putting in the work. This is where I worry, is the aggression. He's lucky he did not have a ton of turnovers. Again, you're running this post wheel, and he's reading, right? While he's throwing, he's reading this corner's leverage, right? This corner's got his hips, he's running. Well, guess what? This corner's playing a zone. All right, he's in cover 4. He's playing a deep fourth of the field. He funnels this receiver into this safety, and he gets his hands on the ball here. Right, ball gets silent. Again, this is going to be intercepted. You're running that scissors concept. They're in a 3 deep zone. He's playing a deep third of the field, this outside corner. He funnels this. He sees where he's while his leverage is with this receiver, he's watching Cam's eyes. He sags off of it and intercepts his pass. Right, it's a little inaccurate too, but like he's there. And again, like this shows up basically at least once a game. It happened a couple times in this Virginia Tech game, but it shows up basically once a game. Here versus Louisville. Again, post wheel. Versus cover 3. DB drops an interception. It's the same thing almost every time. Where he's playing a deep third. He funnels the post to the middle field safety. Flips his hips. Right? Cam Ward is seeing this and like, okay, he's following this receiver. I've got the wheel. Throws it. This corner flips his hips. Drops in an interception. Here in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Right, that wave concept we talked about. Again. You have the deep post. He is trusting that this corner is going to carry that post route. Even though he's got his eyes on Cam Ward. Thinking, okay, this whole area is going to be open because he's going to carry that. Well, he doesn't. And that ball ends up, right in his chest. And a good job by Arroyo, to break that play up. Because that should have been intercepted. And again, this shows up, in here versus Virginia Tech. Not the same thing, but they're going to switch this coverage. Right, this banjo coverage. Where Cam Ward sees this. He's thinking, okay, we've got man coverage. Right, he's got man coverage. He's turned his hips. He's staying in man coverage here. And then this corner is going to be lost in, picked. Well, they use this banjo coverage where they switch. Right, so he takes on this receiver. And you get an interception. So, again, you want to keep the aggression by Cam Ward, right? The creation, all this stuff. But if you're doing this once per game, which again, it showed up fairly consistently, and again, NFL defensive coordinators are going to be scheming against this stuff. They're going to disguise stuff a lot better than the college defenses do. Then that could be the thing that stops him from being a really good NFL quarterback. Still, he's a quarterback who throws with a ton of anticipation. He hits the seam ball, and I want to go through some of the plays that highlight that outside of just, the deep post wheel concepts or those wave concepts. First play here, up top, we've got a hole shot. Right, hole shot is kind of a keyword or a buzzword. But you got a high-low right here, coverage. Reading this corner's leverage, right? This corner does not look like someone who's carrying vertically. So, I mean, this receiver is, 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, and we're getting this ball out of our hand before this safety is able to come over and make a play. I mean, it's quick, right? You can't have second thoughts, right? I did a Shedeur Sanders breakdown, and, those second thoughts and waiting and making sure, lead to an interception or your receiver getting blasted. Here on this play, right? Unlock the backside dig on a play. The front side of this concept is not there. Right? So we quickly, all right? So you look front side. Vertical, you can maybe throw that, but that's not really there. You're not throwing this. The check down's not there. So they're all, this defense wants to flood this area, right? And then you have the deep coverage. Well, guess what? Get off of it, right? Don't sit there and wait on it, right? Get off of it. You read this defender. Bam. Put it right behind him in a window. And you get him with the... I mean, again, that is the difference between a quarterback that can run a system well and a quarterback that just unlocks the entire field, as being able to make throws like that. Here, this is a 3rd and goal. He's going to get a touchdown here. Right? They're going to rush 6, and then they're going to have a 4 deep zone here with this player underneath. Right? So you would think naturally pre-snap, oh, well, if they're rushing post-snap quickly, they're rushing 6. You got 3 3 guys on this side, a 4 for 3 and then 1 for 1. Maybe you go for the one-on-one. But regardless of that, we realize, hey, 8 is going to occupy this player. 7 is going to occupy this player. And then you have this corner out here who's playing with outside leverage. Let's make the read off of this defender. And you, again, throw it right over his head. And this is a 3rd and goal, right? Make them pay when they blitz on these money downs, right? They want to force you to get the ball out quick. Throw it over his head, past his shoulders, touchdown Miami. Here, this stacked diamond set. I don't know how much you're doing that in the NFL, but still, let's look at the window that we're getting to here. Right? That's a tight window. And look at where we are deciding to throw the football at this point. With this linebacker here, we're in our windup, ball's out. You got to have good anticipation on that. You see it better from the other angle. You got to get the timing on that right. Right? You can't second guess and stuff like this. Here we're going to throw the stick and nod touchdown to the tight end. Right? Linebacker widens out, tries to reroute the tight end. All right, he's not. As soon as this linebacker shows that he's not going to flip his hips and run with 84, Cam knows, I'm getting this over the top of him. Get it over the top of him. Nice anticipation. Touchdown Canes. Here, on this little, fake screen. Deep slant. All right, so again, you set this up. The defense is widening out with this. Right? Because they want to protect against the screen. Tight end showing a fake block. Bam, whiz it past this DB's head. Right, again, doesn't look like anything crazy. But throw it with anticipation. Don't allow this player to get closer on this. Don't allow this corner to get into a better position. Right, being quick with that. And then he gets to make this yak play. Same exact thing here against Georgia Tech. Right, same exact concept. Right, we see the exact same stuff, just a different coverage. This time they're in a cover 2. This ball's got to be on time. Because you see, he still, gets hit. right? That's the window. This is where we're throwing it, right? Reading this linebacker widening out. Again, still delivers a hit. But again, that ball's late, and this ball ends up being incomplete. Ball's early, hits the linebacker. So you just see him be able to do things like that fairly consistently. This next play. All right, now let's get into throwing the seam ball. Right? Now this one's against man coverage. Usually they're versus zone. But, hey, he wins leverage. Trusting that this receiver is going to win leverage. Bam, put it on him. Nice play. Like, he unlocks the seam, consistently. Throws it with, good anticipation. No fear. And then you'll see it more versus, these zone coverages. Right, this play. This is actually first play of the game against Georgia Tech. Just a very weird play, right? You're like, oh my God, the tight end has the ball. So just quick post-snap processing, right? And that's what you need to do to be able to throw the seam. And this play is not your normal seam pass, but you're going to put Restrepo in motion. This man follows man coverage. The defense miscommunicates. But Cam Ward sees that miscommunication. So he sees that he's following in man. So you would assume, all right, this corner's in man, this corner's in man. They miscommunicate, right? They don't pass this off the right way. This corner widens out. And then this safety is not jumping in on that, right? The safety is actually following 11. Right? They don't pass this off correctly. But Cam's got quick thinking and post-snap process to see the mistake, right? Not every great play is, oh, wow, they called the perfect defense, but we had the perfect answer. No, sometimes the defense makes mistakes, and you got to be quick on your feet to think about that. I mean, look, the tight end is not even ready for this, right? He turns his head, not expecting, and the ball's just there. I don't know how he caught this. Maybe he doesn't catch that because Cam Ward, puts it on him. And gets a touchdown. Again, he just has a great understanding of what defenses are doing and seeing where they mess up and looking for it. And then you get, your tight end, running for a 80-yard touchdown. Here versus Louisville, your more basic seam, right? Versus cover 3, bang it in there. Right? Quick post-snap processing. This safety is playing down. This safety is playing up. They rotate into a single high. They are in zone coverage. You read this player. He's playing the flat. Well, guess what? You've got the seam open in cover 3. Pull the trigger on it. Bam. Right? Quick post-snap processing. Again, he sees it, right? All right, he's rolling down. He rolls back. He gets back up. Hit it. Here versus Cal. All right, this one's even cooler because he notices this player running off the field late, and then look. He's like, look, he's still on the field. 12 men on the field. Gets back to the progression. Sees they're in cover 3. Sees that the defense isn't matching it. Throw the seam over the linebacker's head before the safety gets there. You see the confidence to just point that out. And then hit the seam. Now, with the seam, highlights some of Cam's issues. And I think inaccuracy is an issue for Cam Ward. And I'll let these plays just roll. It shows up in the seams. It shows up in other basic throws on your hitches, speed outs. Obviously not every deep pass is going to be super accurate. That can't be the expectation. But you do see inaccuracies with Cam Ward. But I do, if he's putting in the work, I do think it'll get better, right? It's not egregious. It's just a lack of precision at times, right? It's not just all straight up misses. And you know what? The footwork, I know sometimes it looks cool when he's calm and nonchalant, but you got to tighten that stuff up and then you'll become more accurate, which I think he will figure out, right? If Cam Ward doesn't work out, I don't think I'll be looking back and be like, you know what it was? It was the inaccuracy that hurt him. But if he doesn't fix it, it will make him pay. It won't be the sole reason, but it will make you pay, right? You'll lose a game because you miss a key pass, or you'll lose a game because a ball sails over on a post into a safety's hand. So it is something that he has to fix. I want to finish off this Cam Ward breakdown with some like basic passing concepts, bread and butter stuff where, again, you're going to see Cam take a sack here, but you're going to see him keep plays alive, and it's part of the good and bad with Cam and how he, how he chooses, because he understands this stuff. But here's a 3rd and 3 versus Cal, right? They blitz. We're looking at the front side. We've got our wide receiver with a choice, right? He can sit, break in, break out, and it's a very easy decision, right? You see this corner's leverage, he breaks out. But Cam, looking for the big play, thinks possibly that this corner is going to squat on this and try and take this away. So Cam, when he sees that, he wants to take a hole shot, right? Like we talked about before. He wants him to get that big play, throw it over here. It happened in this game. So he thinks that corner is going to squat, and he doesn't throw it because the corner doesn't squat. He turns his hips and runs with this receiver. So but again, 3rd and 3. You have a first down. You look to create, and you take a sack. But then there's going to be times where it pays off. As you can see, he looks to create, ends up getting a sack. Here versus Florida State, they're going to run a spot concept on the backside with a dig. Florida State's going to back out into cover 4, and he finds the backside dig. So let's go through this. This is 3rd and 10. And again, if they get 7-8 yards, they get a 4th and 2 that they'll probably go for. Right? Florida State disguises this. Right? You see 0. He backs out, post snap, in the cover 4. Right? Pre-snap, that sure as hell doesn't look like a cover 4 shell. But they back out into it. We're in cover 4. So you have the spot concept, the corner, the flag's not going to be there. The flat's not really there, especially on 3rd and 10. The spot is, right? It's there, right? You throw this here, you get it out on time, and he falls forward. He might even get the first down, but he at least gets close, and you can get it to a spot where you go on a 4th down. But Cam, looking for the big game, saying, okay, they've kind of bracketed everything. Let me get to the back side of this. I should have numbers with this safety backing out. Gets to the backside, and guess what? The backside dig is open. He's able to move up through the pocket and complete a first down and not have to worry about going for it on 4th down. So like that's a good play by Cam Ward, right? But again, if that safety had come and crashed down, then you're looking at the spot being like, why didn't you throw up? And then there's other basic passing game concepts that he does well with. Here mesh, first man coverage, gets it in for a touchdown to the tight end. Again, you get it versus man, right? Simple read. And 14 screws this up by not chasing his man, but you get it versus a blitz, work away from the pressure, and then you find the mesh route. Now here it's not so simple. So again, Cal is going to disguises their coverage, right? Right now we are in cover 2, or Tampa 2, right? We got the 2 deep defenders, all these underneath, and then your Tampa defender here. And he hits this player. But pre-snap, let's look at this. Pre-snap, this looks like a cover 1, cover 3 defense, a single high defense. Well, post-snap, right, and you get cover 1, like you want to throw man, the mesh first man. But they rotate post-snap and to cover 2. And guess what does not really work well against cover 2? Mesh. Because guess what? The rail route by the running back is taken away by this cloud corner. The 2 mesh routes are taken away by these curl hook defenders on 3rd and 5. You're not throwing the alert. And then the sit route is occupied by the Tampa defender, right? But Cam processes that, sees that, and he looks for where the one place that he can go is the sit. Is this sit route in the middle of the field? This corner is not going and working the cover underneath this, so he's got leverage. Throw it to his right or to your right, right? You don't let the linebacker make a play on it. Get it on him. You don't allow that safety to make a play, right? Where if you just throw this on the sit right here, that safety maybe is able to break that up, work through his arms. Like, that's great post-snap processing on a basic concept against, again, they've called the right coverage. They even disguised what was the right coverage, and he makes the play. And then when you get, like, your cover zero blitzes, right? All-out blitz, man coverage, 4th and 3, hit the slant. Ball's out of our hand before our receiver has even gotten to the stem, or, is at the stem of this route. Good placement, nice tough catch. But again, you're moving the chains by just being confident, knowing where you're supposed to go on that play. Not sitting there, because again, I've seen NFL quarterbacks where they get this exact same thing, and they're waiting. They're sitting here waiting, and then they'll take sacks. Or they'll have throws that are obstructed by a hit. Here versus Georgia Tech, right? Simple. They're in a shell. They got off coverage. All right. We got mesh, right? We talked about that mesh concept. They're playing an off coverage. We got man, right? You could throw this, right? But look, pre-snap. Pre-snap, there's no safety over help over the top. He's playing with the inside leverage and off. I'm going to hit the alert. And makes a great throw. Far hash. Again, the alert can be your best friend. Right? The alert can be your best friend. Here, against Iowa State. This little RPO pop pass. Looks very simple, right? I love this because Iowa State, they want to defend against this, but they also want to play against a stacked box and not let Cam Ward hand it off for a rushing touchdown on 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Right? So they want to play with a stacked box. They don't want to have a safety here. But you have to protect yourself against the inbreakers. So they take an overhang linebacker and put him here to get in this window. And that's exactly what this linebacker does. Cam sees that. He doesn't want to hand the ball off into a stacked box. It's not going to work, right? This run ain't going anywhere, correct? Right? They filled all those gaps, but you still have this linebacker who is supposed to take this throw away. But quick angle, throw it over him, perfect placement, and you get a touchdown. I was actually like 10 rows back from here, and that was like, ooh, this is nice. And it just got nicer and nicer in the Pop-Tart Bowl. But again, like perfect placement, understanding exactly what the defense is doing, and making a play. And so, you get a touchdown here, the Restrepo. So again, he understands these passing concepts. There will be times where you get frustrated because he doesn't take the easy throw and he takes a sack or it's an incomplete pass. But again, he understands these plays. So as I finish off, I want to let you watch Cam Ward make some running plays, use arm angles on screens and stuff because you don't need me to break those down. My thoughts on Cam Ward. I think he's absolutely worthy of a top 5 pick in any class. He would have been my QB4 in last year's class after Caleb, Drake, and Jaden Daniels. He makes big time throws consistently. He tests every part of the field. It's not just arm talent. It's not just creation. He has the arm talent. He has the creation, but he understands what defense is doing, right? We saw all the times where he processes post-snap what they're trying to accomplish and finds the right places and then make those plays. Now, the aggression can get himself in trouble, right? Trusting too much what the defense is doing, and they end up fooling you. The inaccuracy, precision, that's got to get better, right? It's a red flag. I don't think it's a red flag worthy of not drafting, but it is an issue, right? Those will make you pay at the next level if you're not able to clean those up. So I like this player, and I hope you guys like this breakdown. So please like and subscribe to the channel if you did. Would mean the world. And let's go big. We'll see you on the next one. Appreciate you guys, and let's go Big Blue. Or if you're a Titans fan, tighten up. And I'm definitely not mad that you have the quarterback that I wanted. I'm not mad at all. I'm so happy for you Titans fans.